Hi, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. I'm joined by the cast of Ghoomer right here, Abhishek Bachchan and Saiyami Kher. Firstly, a huge welcome.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, I really enjoyed and I was very motivated by the trailer actually.
Really?
Thank
you. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
because
you.
there are two things which really struck a chord with me. It was very relatable, especially when you say believe in magic, and the very next second you're saying, but ये magic मेरे पे कभी मेहरबान नहीं होता. And I was like, ah, exactly me. Like you're hopeful at one point, and कुछ एक हो जाता है, and then you're just like, but ये मेरे लिए नहीं है. It's the same like you say manifest, and then you're just like ये manifestation होता क्या है जब हमारे हिसाब से नहीं होता, you know. I want to know personally. I know everyone has that story where you feel like, especially I was reading one of your early interviews, Abhishek, where you did mention कि एक वक्त था when you really did want to give up because nothing was working according to what you thought it would. And I can only imagine because it is a very difficult place to be in, especially with all the eyes. What was that turning point for you where you thought that, okay, I have to believe in magic again because I know it's very easy to lose hope?
Well, I'm very glad that you've asked this question because it struck that chord with you. Because somewhere that was the chord that it struck with me when I heard the script. I don't know, but there is nobody on earth who hasn't failed.
Of course.
There's nobody on earth who has achieved every dream and goal of theirs. There's that one that always gets away. And 99% of the time, we ourselves are to blame for it.
Yeah.
And we know it. So everybody has seen failure. A lot of us have felt ki this is it, should move on, try something else, this is not working out, you're ready to give up. And coincidentally, I mean, interestingly, you asked this question. Similarly, as almost, I mean, if you want to draw a parallel from real life to real life, it was my coach that picked me up and pointed me in the right direction and said, no, there's still some fuel in the tank, go for it. That was my father. Incidentally, Paddy comes into Anina's life when she's at a similar junction. And he says, no, I believe in you. And you know, sometimes that's all it takes. It takes that one person and that one kind gesture to inspire you again.
No, I completely,
you know, I think human beings, we're social animals. Once in a while, it's nice to be encouraged.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. Go out there, face it all by yourself and do it all by yourself. Great. A word of encouragement never hurts. You'll be shocked at what a kind word can do to somebody because you never know what they're going through.
True.
And how it might inspire them. So I really related to some of the themes in this film because, like I said, everybody's been in those shoes. Everybody's felt like it's just not working. I should just give up. Let me try something else. And along, hopefully, comes somebody or a coach that says, no, I believe in you. I see the potential. Let's work hard. We can do it. And then you get back on your feet and you start running again.
No, I completely agree with you. And thank you that you did not give up back then because, I mean, you've been part of such amazing projects after that as well. But before I come to Saiyami, I want to know what was the turning point according to you? Because हम box office numbers के हिसाब से सोचते हैं कि this was the turning point perhaps. But for you personally, what was that project which instilled that confidence back that, okay, no, I am doing what I'm supposed to do and this is the place where I want to be?
No, that I always felt. As an actor, emotionally, I'm happiest when I'm in front of the camera. I'm happiest on set. It's my happy place. It's where I go for my holidays. You know?
That's the best place.
You ask any actor, they'll tell you. That's, you know, you wake up in the morning, you can't wait to get on the set. So, I belong here is something that after your first shot, regardless of how bad you think you were in it, and most actors think they're terrible in their first shot. But despite they're like, no, I'm meant to be here. This is it. So that's always there. But unfortunately for film actors, as opposed to other creative arts, there are a lot of external factors that dictate whether you should carry on doing what you're doing or not. Contrary to popular belief, an actor is actually the least important and powerful person on a set because they have absolutely no control over their portrayal of what they're doing. So I think that's possibly why box office matters because it is a commercial medium.
Yeah.
Right? You can be the world's greatest actor, but be unemployed because your films are just not,
Agreed.
sadly, doing well.
Agree.
So you have to find that balance. But if you ask any actor, they'll all be 100% convinced that, you know, जीना यहाँ मरना यहाँ इसके सिवा
जाना
जाना
कहाँ.
कहाँ.
So Emily, for you, again,
जी.
in the trailer itself, the scene where he comes and he tells you कि अच्छा तुम्हें नहीं करना है, क्या करना है, suicide करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, कैसे कर, and it's such a weird way of encouraging someone when you know that okay, this was in fact going to fuel the energy. I want to know, you mentioned Anurag Kashyap was the person who really encouraged you. But since then also I've seen that you've been very, correct me if I'm wrong here, are you the one who is choosing the projects very, like, you've been very conscious of the choice that you're making? Because I loved you in Choked as well.
Thank you
It was
so much.
such a phenomenal performance. Or is that kind of work coming to you? या फिर इतना काम नहीं आ रहा है? Like, what is the situation? Because I want to see you more on screen.
Thank you.
But I feel that, is she being conscious of taking different kind of project? What is it exactly?
With regards to being picky and choosy, it is definitely not me. I'll put it out again because you're speaking about manifestation. I want to be working for 368 days of the year if we can. And like
Well, you
he
can't,
said,
because there aren't
I
368
know,
days.
I know.
in a year.
But like you said, it's my happy place as
Yeah.
well. And I get sulky and I get cranky when I'm not working, and my family and my sister and my friends witness to it. But given a choice, I'd like to be working all year round. But like he said, it's not always in the actor's hands because there are lots of people who are making those decisions.
Yeah.
Having said that, I feel I've had 3-4 great years. We work together on Breathe, and I think like Mr. Bachchan is our Balki's lucky charm. I think AB's been a lucky charm for me.
But that's so sweet.
I have been working on projects that are very close to my heart, I think ever since we met, since Breathe.
No, but exactly what there's some similarity between you two, which I see, that despite the fact that you are on social media, you're not actively on social media, like, you get me, like, there are certain, and the way you even approach a certain character, I feel that there is a sense of sincerity which an audience can also see when we are watching the performance on screen. But I want to know, there are certain sacrifices, I believe, which an actor has to do in order to get into the skin of the character. For example, your character, right? Now to make it look very natural, because you are used to using both your hands. Now suddenly, for those days, you have to only use one part, like just one hand. Naturally to nahi ho sakta, you have to train your mind into it, and there are certain, like, for example, I'm sure you did mention that for some months you were trying to only use one. That's a part of a sacrifice, I would say, that an actor has to make in order to get into the skin of the character. On a macro level, I want to know, are there certain sacrifices that you make as an actor to be able to do what you're doing, because you enjoy it, but it comes with its own price? To both of you, but I would like to know from you first.
For me, like you pointed out, which is why I think I got along with him from probably the first day we met, is because he comes from the first film family of the country, I feel, because it is the biggest film, his parents and his family, but he is so normal, and I think the normalcy comes from keeping certain things private, keeping certain things, I mean, probably this generation puts everything out on social media, but I think the uniqueness of
Pause.
somebody.
This generation?
Not this.
That is your generation.
This generation.
Stop trying to
like
act
this-
older than your age.
This generation.
It's your generation.
Like this current
Yeah, you're still young.
generation. Current
Yeah.
generation. So it is a part and parcel of being an actor, which I understand. It's a choice you make. It's a choice with regards to how much you want out there, how much of everything do you want in front of the media, how much do you want it to be your own.
Yeah.
It's in your hands. Finally, you call the PR and you get photographed, it's a known thing. So it's finally in your hands, which is why I really, really find him very unique, because I like that he keeps his professional pride. There is a little bit of, let's maintain that.
Yeah.
So I really respect it and admire it. But yes, it comes with its sacrifices, but I wouldn't say sacrifices. I would say finally it's a choice you make. If it's keep making you happy, you do it. If it doesn't, you don't do it.
But only to take that forward, is it really possible in today's time and age where it literally is a prerequisite in everything that you do? कि अरे यार, for example, since you mentioned social media, like social media पे ये promote करना पड़ेगा, ये मतलब
But इसीलिए it's so unique. If you see the way he speaks to his fans or the people who criticize
That is
him,
true.
that's what makes him unique from everyone else doing the same things.
उसपे
Is
तो
that there is a
thesis होना
unique,
चाहिए,
there's
I
a
feel.
uniqueness to
Yeah.
him that makes him just so endearing, that he
Agreed.
keeps it so real.
Agreed. AB, but how do you do that, यार? Like literally, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रही हूँ. I feel that there should be a book written on how to deal with everything that is not okay on social media with you. Like you just do it
सबसे पहले
amazingly.
social media is wonderful. It's a platform to engage. It's a platform to debate, to connect with our audiences, with our loved ones, our well-wishers. With that, you're going to have people that may not agree with you, may have a different point of view. That's the basic function of the platform. So first and foremost, as the famous adage goes, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? You can't be on social media and then say, oh no, we don't want to deal with the negativity.
Correct.
To add to that, as a public figure or as a film actor, especially in India, you're up for public scrutiny. That's part of your job. And whether you like it or not, even when you make a film and it releases and whether it does well or it doesn't do well, that's your audience judging you. How is that different from them saying it to you on social media? Right? So you've always been used to it. I changed my देखने का जो नज़रिया है, how do you say, my perspective towards criticism very early in my life. And I've never combated that. I've never, butted heads with criticism because my way of looking at it is very different. And don't ask me how I do it or why I do it. It's just the way I do it. It just comes like that to me. The way I looked at it is, here's somebody who's telling me how to improve, that they haven't liked something.
Correct.
Why do I take it negatively? Yes, if they're going to be rude and nasty about it, then I understand.
Course, you need to draw a
But
line.
here's somebody who's telling you that we didn't like this, we don't like you, you can't do this, you can't. But you're telling me how to improve. So in a roundabout way, you're kind of helping me. So I've never looked upon it negatively. I think you as an individual empower the other person to be able to hurt you.
True.
If, for example, you had to criticize me and I'm going to take offense to it, if tomorrow you do it in a language that I don't speak,
Makes sense.
it's not going to affect me, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand what you're saying. So I give you that power. My thing is, it's not about giving power or taking power. For me is, if somebody's criticizing me, they're actually concerned enough to air their grievances and teach me what I need to do the next time round to improve myself. That's genuinely the way I look at it. I'm asked a lot of the time, like, oh, how do you deal with these trolls? And, अरे भाई, what's the big deal? अगर आप कुछ social media पे लिखें about me, it's my God-given right to write something back. But that doesn't mean I have to write something nasty back, na?
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to be nasty with you. I'm not trying to fight with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Let me understand this. I want to understand. Well, how can I? Because I'm looking very selfishly. Acha, here's an opportunity for me to learn and improve myself. So that's just the way I've always looked at it. So it doesn't. Yes, for example, a film review. Nobody's a monk over here. We're not all Zen. We haven't reached that spiritual plane.
I don't
It
think we
hurts.
can. Yeah.
When your film doesn't do well, or even if it's doing well and you get a bad review of your performance, it hurts. We're human beings because we've all worked very hard. And it hurts because you are then told something which most of the time you already know. Your best wasn't good enough. It's a very bitter pill to swallow. And half the time, the reason why we get defensive about criticism is because we don't want to admit to ourselves that the person could be telling the truth. An actor will always know before anybody else whether they've done their best or not. But you like to hide that because you know it's going to hurt. And you regret it because, like I said, you're the least powerful person on set. Once that shot is okayed, it's out of your hands. Then you can't come back 3 days later and say, hey, listen, I can do better. Can we do that again? No, you can't. That's cut, it's print, it's edited, it's there. So somewhere I think actors get defensive because we don't want to admit to ourselves.
Yeah, admit
Right?
to ourselves is the most difficult
That is
thing.
why I feel a dialogue like, you know, loser kya mehsoos karta hai.
I was just...
I know, because we all know that feeling. And the greatest, and I've been saying this a lot, it's become like, I think, my takya kalam for the promotion. To succeed greatly, first you need to fail greatly.
Yeah.
Because only then, based on that, can you learn, improve, and never go back to that failure. The greatest winners in life have at some point or the other been very big losers. And
Can
they've
I-
ensured that they'll never do that again.
No, but Sammy, I want to know, you have worked with him, of course, before. What is that one thing you take away from him as an actor on set? Like, is he someone who is very spontaneous? Does he do a lot of homework when... Because I know that Amit ji is someone who does a lot of homework before he's well prepared on set. Is he similar
You
like
know, I
that?
feel he is those स्कूल में रहते हैं ना कि हमने पढ़ाई की नहीं है फिर फर्स्ट आ जाते हैं he's one of those because he will come on set being all like oh you know doing all that but he's the number one student who is completely prepared. So I think he secretly, I don't know when because he leads a very busy life, but he secretly is so prepared when he comes that he can do masti, he can do everything is because he has done so much of his homework and he's so prepared. Obviously the experience he comes with, he knows how much he has to work more for a certain project or less for a certain project, but it is a lot of just lot of work that he's put in that you see when he comes on set. And I think besides that, he is a very involved and intelligent actor on set because he is, there were certain things in Ghoomer as well where he said, I think, you know, if we add this, obviously we can't talk about it right now, but very important things. So he's that very thinking actor who I would love to see him direct someday.
Wow, is plan hai? पहले acting
I'm having a tough enough time with acting, यार अभी direction. No.
But will you agree? Are you someone like a वो जो school में बच्चे होते थे कि नहीं नहीं मैंने कुछ
Listen,
नहीं
talking
पढ़ा
about
है?
yourself is very embarrassing. I'd much rather talk about her.
No, I
You
want
know,
to hear from you.
she's very kind, and it's very embarrassing. I'm an actor. I think every actor is well prepared. You have to be. More so now, because today you don't get those second chances that we got 15, 20 years ago. It's a highly competitive world, and what's even better is the standards have just gone through the roof, and it's so wonderful to see. Filmmaking today is just everybody's that much more clued in. There was a time, I mean, when I was growing up, I used to see my father's generation. There was this camaraderie, chalo, ho jayega, koi baat nahi. You know, it was chalta hai attitude. That's not there today. It's a very professional workspace, and everybody's very, very prepared.
I have a complaint from you, AB, that of course I'm loving
You
the
have a
kind...
complaint from me or for me?
For me,
Okay,
for you.
okay.
I'm complaining basically.
Oh, okay.
That,
Oh, gosh.
you know, I'm enjoying the kind of films that you're doing of late. It's very different, it's unique. But when are we going to finally see you in also like a masaledar film? Also, we're missing you there in that space.
I'd love to. That's my favorite genre. But I
Kyun
like,
nahi ho
I mean,
raha hai?
in my head, all these films are masala
No, like,
films, no?
I'm talking like a Dhoom. That masala film.
Oh, like an action
Action
film. I'd love to. I'd love to. It's just so happened that, you know, the last 2 years have been so busy because, you know, during the pandemic, obviously a lot of people were. But after that, I mean, I've literally made, I think, 5 or 6 films in the last 2 years. And they've all...
But Dasvi was fun.
Yeah,
It was,
Dasvi,
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, but she's saying an action kind
Actually,
of
like
film.
a proper. वैसे Dhoom 4 के rumors तो है. Are you Like,
Not that I know of, no, no. If Dhoom 4 was being made, Adi would have told us. So,
so it's not happening.
well,
because
I mean,
it's
I can't confirm
yeah.
or deny it, but
I like that.
I'm pretty sure I would have been told if he's making it.
Okay, lastly, I want to firstly tell you that Jaya ji to humse milti nahi hai, Jaya ma'am, but please tell her we enjoyed her performance in Rocky or Rani.
Oh, thank you.
Like, it was so good.
Go to Delhi to Parliament, she'll meet you. She's there.
Wow.
Yeah, right or wrong?
You know it's not going to happen that
No,
way.
I mean, she spends most of her time in
But I
Delhi
want
because
to
of
know,
Parliament.
have you watched the film?
Yes, I watched it with her.
Did you? Oh, of course.
Yeah. For me, it's the only member of my family that I cannot view as an actor is my mother. With my father and my wife, I have the ability to be able to see them as an actor and see their performance. With my mother, it's too emotional. The relationship of a mother and a son is, I guess, that, or any child and a parent.
True.
So I always view her as my mother. So it becomes very difficult for me to judge her performance.
I'm telling you, audiences have clapped and hooted when they've watched it. So,
Really?
yeah.
I'll tell her. She'll be happy.
But thank you so much for this
No,
chat.
thank you.
Ghoomer is also being premiered at the film festival in Melbourne. So
Yes.
congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
I can't wait for the audience there to see it first and then us here.
Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking, no? It's the first time that people are going to see our film. Oh gosh, thank you for
Soon.
reminding
And like
us.
soon.
Oh
But
God.
thank you so much
Day
for
after.
this chat. Ghoomer is releasing on August 18th
Yes.
in theatres near you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.